Hi, folks. The Art of Simple Trading here, and I want to talk about really one of my favorite setups of all times, um, and it's not groundbreaking or anything like that. But the reason that it works is it's based on the core tenets of the market, and why things kind of move the way that they do in auction markets, right? You may have heard me refer to it. I've referred to it as a number of different things over the course of my kind of trading, teaching people how to trade, or showing people setups. I've referred to it as an elbow strategy because it kind of looks like an elbow, and when it really works, it looks like an elbow with the hand either pointing up or pointing down. Um, and just to kind of show you what that is, it's this would be the elbow right here, and this will be the hand pointing up if it ends up working. And if you flip that over so that the elbow was up here, it will be pointing down. The hand will be pointing down. I've referred to it as that. I've also referred to it as a slingshot trade. I think that may be my favorite way of referencing the setup, because it literally kind of looks like someone is pulling back on the rubber band, or whatever it is you have that you're using as the sling, as it were, so that you can let it go and this thing can take off to the upside. But really, the way that it works, and the reason that it works, is again because it's based on kind of the core tenets of why markets, or how markets move, right? So what you have here is, these are the trend spotter lines. These are the Art of Simple Trading trend spotter lines. Multiple moving averages, you can call them a lot of different things. Mine are a little bit different from multiple moving averages formulaically, but they work basically the same way. So you can use those. I think most indicator packages, or trading platforms, have that in the indicator packages at this point. But really what happens is, you have the shorter term trend spotter lines crossing above the longer term lines. And it's really kind of nebulous here, right? Do you want all of them to be above or not? Yeah, kind of, sort of, maybe, who knows, right? But for the purpose of this example, it doesn't matter that much, right? So you want the shorter term trend spotter lines crossing above, right? Price has already crossed above, and it looked like it wanted to come back, and this and that and so on and so forth, but it didn't quite, right? And then what you want to have happen is price has pushed up, which is what has driven the shorter term lines to cross above. And then price starts to come back toward the longer term trend spotter lines, right? And it reverses again back to the upside, right? So it pulls back into kind of this little nook here, right? And sometimes it'll be deeper, sometimes not. And then it takes off to the upside. For my 2 cents, this is like this is like a really good trade setup, and you'll see this happen on the higher time frames as well, the daily and the weekly, and just the way that I use it. For example, on the daily, or on the weekly, on the higher time frames, is I would look for this same exact setup on the weekly, right? And then drop down to the daily to get like a smaller risk entry. Maybe have to do it 2 or 3 times, but get into the trade in a way that is really compelling from a risk reward perspective, and then try to let it run and see where it'll go. This is the intraday high here, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I am not going to sit around and kind of hold off and wear you guys out, but just sitting here and letting this run until that time. But my guess is it may not get all the way up here, but it'll get closer. Today is month end, or a month end, so the markets generally have an upward bias at month end, just because mutual funds kind of want to mark their books up. So there's a good chance that it'll get up here and get this high and get back up here toward the daily pivot, right? Because it hasn't gotten there as yet today, right? And it spent a lot of time on the lows, finally took off, gave you the pullback, and is looking, in my opinion, to go higher. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but you know, depending on how you traded in and whether you scaled out, you would already be out of a substantial amount of your risk, and you would at this point just be sitting here to see, you know, trying to trail this stop fairly loosely, and it's certainly trying to go, and just trying to see how far this thing will go. Okay. So I hope that's helpful. Hope it gives you guys a sense of the kinds of things that you want to look for when you're, you know, looking for your own setups, and how you want to make sure that your setups are premised on really the core tenets of whatever market or security you're looking at. Okay. That's it, and we'll see you at the next video. Take care.